From dream to reality. Dreams are like stars in the night sky. They shine brightly, guiding us towards something greater, something beyond where we are today. And yet, just as stars often feel unreachable, so too do our deepest ambitions. We see them, we long for them, but invisible chains hold us down. These chains are not forged from steel, but from doubts that whisper, fears that linger, and painful memories that replay like broken records. And so, many of us remain standing still, staring at the horizon, torn between desire and hesitation. But let me tell you something powerful. Those chains are not real prisons. They are illusions. They are fog, and fog, as thick as it may seem, always dissolves when light appears. The moment you begin to shine the light of clarity and action, the fog of doubt disappears. Take the caterpillar as a metaphor. It spends part of its life crawling, limited to the ground, until it retreats into the darkness of cocoon. At first glance, the cocoon looks like confinement, like a cage, but in truth, it is a sacred space of transformation. Inside, something miraculous happens. Wings are being formed, and when the time is right, the cocoon opens, and the creature that once crawled now takes flight. Our lives are not so different. The seasons where we feel stuck, lost, or trapped are not punishments. They are preparation. The cocoon seasons are where we grow the wings we don't yet realize we're building. It feels uncomfortable, yes, but discomfort is often the price of transformation. And here's where the journey truly begins, by looking inward. Confucius once said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." To conquer yourself is to develop the courage to face your own fears, your patterns, your shadows. It means asking the questions most people avoid. What am I really afraid of? When do I sabotage myself? What voices still hold me back? A simple yet life-changing practice is journaling. Each morning, write down one fear or one doubt that lingers in your mind. Each night, write down one step you took, no matter how small, that moved you forward. Over time, you'll begin to notice something profound. The greatest battles are not fought against the world, but against the limits we place on ourselves. And when you truly examine these barriers, you'll discover another truth. Most of them were not created by you. They were handed to you. Perhaps someone once said, "You're not good enough." Maybe a teacher, a parent, or a friend planted that seed of doubt. Or maybe an old failure convinced you that trying again would only bring more pain. But these barriers are not walls of stone. They are stories. Stories you were told. Stories you chose to believe. Here's a practical step. Write down 3 limiting beliefs that echo in your mind. Maybe it's, "I don't have what it takes," or "It's too late for me." Then challenge them directly. Ask yourself, whose voice is this? Do I want to carry this voice into my future? And then take a single action that proves the opposite. For example, if you believe, "I'm not creative," sign up for a simple painting class or start writing a short story. One action is enough to crack the shell of doubt. Now let's talk about action. Action is the antidote to fear. Each small step forward, no matter how insignificant it seems, is a rebellion against the paralysis of doubt. Reframe your story. Don't say, "I'm stuck." Instead say, "I'm moving," even if slowly. Begin with micro goals. Write 200 words today, make 1 phone call, spend 15 minutes learning a new skill. Over time, these small victories compound into extraordinary progress. There's a powerful principle called the 1% rule. It says, if you improve by just 1% every single day, you'll be 37 times better by the end of the year. Think about that. Dreams are not achieved in giant leaps. They are achieved in consistent, almost invisible steps that accumulate over time. And when you need courage, look to the old myths and stories humanity has carried for centuries. Consider Icarus. Many remember the tragedy of his fall, when he flew too close to the sun with wings of wax. But they often miss the deeper meaning. The story isn't telling us not to fly. It's telling us to prepare our wings. Passion without preparation burns out. But passion combined with wisdom, with discipline, with resilience, that is how we rise and stay aloft. So, how do we know which direction to fly? The answer is within. Silence is the compass of the soul. When we allow ourselves moments of stillness, away from screens, noise, and distraction, we begin to hear the quiet voice of our true calling. Try this. Once a week, take a 30-minute walk without your phone. Ask yourself, what gives me energy? What drains it? Pay attention to desires that keep resurfacing again and again. They are not accidents. They are signals pointing you toward the life you're meant to live. Following that path requires courage. Courage to break free from expectations, to live a life that may not look normal to others. This is the shift from dreamer to doer. Here's a simple but powerful exercise. Write a letter to your future self, 1 year from now. Describe where you are, what you've achieved, and how you feel. Keep it somewhere visible and read it every week. This keeps you aligned with your vision, even when the world tries to pull you in other directions. But remember this, courage is not rigidity. Real strength lies in vulnerability. Think of the parable of the oak and the reed. The mighty oak, proud and unbending, is ripped from the ground in a storm. The reed, small and flexible, bends with the wind and survives. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is a courage to be open, to admit when you don't know, to ask for help, to remain teachable. Gandhi embodied this truth. He wielded no weapons, commanded no armies, yet his vulnerability became his greatest strength, moving millions and reshaping history. To walk this journey, we need presence. Mindfulness teaches us to live in the now. Too often we are haunted by the past or paralyzed by the future. But peace, clarity, and creativity live in the present. Try this before a big decision or a challenging task. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Repeat. This simple breathing practice quiets the noise of the mind and reconnects you to the moment. Now comes the bridge between dream and reality. Clarity. A dream without clarity is like a ship without a map. You need vision, but you also need structure. Ask yourself, what exactly do I want? By when do I want it? And how will I measure progress? For example, in 90 days, I will launch my first podcast with at least 10 episodes. Break it down into weekly milestones. Research, outline, recording, editing, publishing. Clarity transforms the impossible into the inevitable. But remember, no one achieves greatness alone. Every dreamer needs a circle of support. Mentors who guide you, peers who walk alongside you, family and friends who remind you why you started. Build your ecosystem. Look for the 3 C's, a coach who shortens a path, a community that fuels your momentum, and a client or audience that gives you purpose. Together, these 3 turn isolation into connection, and connection into unstoppable progress. And so, we return to the truth. Yes, the destination matters, but the true magic is found along the journey. The dream is not only about what you will achieve, it is about who you will become in the process. The journey transforms you, strengthens you, expands you, and reveals the wings that were always waiting to grow. So believe. Take the first step today, no matter how small. persist, and watch as the universe begins to move in harmony with your courage. Your dream is waiting. The cocoon is ready to open. The sky is calling. And if this message touched something within you, then I invite you to join us here at the Healing Vibe, a space where your spirit is nurtured, your purpose is honored, and your dreams are encouraged to take flight. Subscribe now, and let's walk this path of healing, growth, and transformation together.